Oh, here we are. Hey, Sud Buds, it's me, Smarge, from the Dirty Laundry Clean Confession podcast.
What's up, everyone? I'm Silu. I want to welcome you all to the second episode of Dryerside Chats. This is where the laundry is loud, but the conversations are definitely louder.
And we'll be coming at you live, pre-recorded from the family laundry room with that nice 10 p.m. vibe. And we are flipping back the lint trap, and who do we find tonight but Ozzy Osbourne? You could say he is the father of heavy metal, a magnet of chaos, and at times a biter of things.
Yeah, definitely a biter of some things. He was born John Michael Osbourne on December 3rd, 1948. Dang, that's back in the day. He was born in Birmingham, England. This guy came from some pretty humble beginnings. Blue-collar parents, a crowded home, and a whole lot of noise. Now, let's get back to the back in the day part. What were you doing back in 1948, Smart?
Wow. Silu, this again, seriously. Wow, you're not a Sud Bud, you're a little poop bubble.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, let old Smarge take you back to Ozzy Osbourne's childhood, where he grew up with 3 sisters, 2 brothers, a mom and dad, pretty big family, and a very close family for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And then the teenage years came, and guess what Ozzy's first paying job was? In a meat market, which I thought was very poetic, considering the meat that he's going to encounter in his future.
Yeah, there's this story of him working at the factory. He ran into a guy and asked him, "How long have you been here?" The guy goes, 35 years. I retire next week and I'm going to get me a nice gold watch. Ozzy was not impressed.
Not at all. His teenage brain was like, screw that. If I want to watch, I'll steal it myself. And you could say about that time, Ozzy's washer went a little off balance.
Yeah, you can say that. He dabbled in a life of crime, breaking and entering, stealing clothes. He even robbed Mrs. Clark's corner shop. He got caught and got his ass thrown in jail.
Yeah, that shop, did you know, was just right down the street. I would have gone a little further, but...
You would think so.
But I don't think that was Ozzy's forte. Huh? Anyway, Mr. Ozzy wasn't happy either. He did not bail his son out, and Ozzy said that was the best thing that could have happened to him. He learned his lesson. It was a wake-up call, and he hated jail, and he was never going back. The band forms.
After jail, Ozzy had turned his vision to music. He had complete tunnel vision. It was music or bust. He begged his dad for £250, not for a car, but to get a mic and 2 amps. Strategic move. His logic, if he showed up with the equipment and he looked like he meant business, he'd get the gigs, and it worked.
He even posted flyers, and here's a bit of trivia, Sud Buds. Ozzy's flyers read, "Ozzy Zig requires a gig."
So smooth.
I know, and guess what, Sud Buds? Spank your tidy whities, it worked. Soon there were 4 guys forming a band and practicing. They found a studio and started practicing in the studio, and across from the studio was a movie theater showing horror films. And they thought, hey, we want to do that with our music.
He ended up buying a ancient black magic book named The Black Sabbath because, well, of course he did. And within days, they end up writing the hit song, Black Sabbath. This song is pretty much the blueprint for heavy metal as we know it.
Yeah, that's probably where they got their name.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Maybe. Sex, drugs, and brute. Ozzy recalls his first big paycheck. He had 3 things that were important to him. He wanted to get a bottle of booze, new socks and shoes, and the bottle of Brute. Brute cologne.
Shout out to Brute. I guess even a madman doesn't want to smell like a slaughterhouse, huh?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, definitely.
I get it. The success was going, but beneath all the glory and glam, it was messy.
Yeah.
Ozzy says he was not a great father or dad the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
And he was even quoted as saying, "It just wasn't real cool of me."
However, soon fame hit hard. After the 1974 California Jam Festival, suddenly the band was pretty much legends. Their LA managers ended up bleeding them dry financially, and right after that, Ozzy's father passed.
I know. Could you imagine being on the top of the mountain and then being kicked down? It hit him hard, and it threw him into depression and a life of drug abuse and alcohol abuse. And he was even fired from his own rock and roll band.
He was broken. He goes back to England, lost and confused, until Sharon enters the scene.
The Sharon chapter. And Sheridan Arden appears in Ozzy's life. She happens to be the daughter of the agent that Ozzy hired when we went back to the UK. And there she became his manager, his friend, and then basically his lifeboat.
Yeah, with Sharon by his side and in his corner, Ozzy teams up with the guitar prodigy Randy Rhoads. They end up dropping Blizzard of Oz as well as Diary of a Madman, and both of them were instant classics.
Yeah, and maybe here we should just do a little side note on Ozzy and the rumors of heads, animal heads, lack of heads, or too many heads. And so I did a little research, and yes, there were 2 victims. There was 1 bat and 1 dove.
Yeah, the dove story. So this was a publicity stunt. They figured if they had Ozzy shredding the guitar and they released some doves, it would equal peace. But Ozzy, high out of his mind, ends up grabbing a dove and biting its head clean off.
Yeah, they were asked to leave, and they were not asked to come back. And then shortly after that, Ozzy is up on stage performing, and he sees a bat get thrown up on stage. He thinks it's a fake bat at first, and then he picks it up, realizes it's a real bat, so then what does he do? Yes, he bites the head off. But hey, Sudbuds, that is a great way to end you up in the ER with a series of rabies shots.
Yeah, it's just another Tuesday for a legend, though, like Ozzy Osbourne.
I guess. Loss and rehab. Well, things were rocking along for Ozzy, and he was doing real well. Great albums were being released with his great friend Randy Rhoads and the great guitar player that he was. And then life threw him a tumble. In 1982, Randy Rhoads died in an airplane crash, and the airplane was crashed into the tour bus that Ozzy and Sharon were napping on.
Man, Ozzy was shattered. His addiction deepened. Sharon sent him off to rehab. His first attempt was not a hit. Ozzy lasted about 45 minutes, they think.
And yeah, one of my favorite stories of Ozzy's is, in some interviews he'll be talking and he'll say, I got to meet Betty Ford at my rehab. Mm-hmm. And then every time Sharon's with him, she just lovingly says, Ozzy, how many times do I have to tell you that's Elizabeth Taylor? That was not Betty Ford. And I just love that story.
Yeah, and then Ozzy hits rock bottom again. He gets arrested for trying to kill Sharon during a drunken, drug-induced blackout. He has no memory of trying to strangle his wife or anything of that night. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and he woke up and said that is it. He was tired, and he started to look for a rehab place, checked himself in for 6 months, and really got clean. Sharon stayed by his side, and Ozzy's music continued.
1, 2, 3. Ozfest and the Osbournes.
Nice.
Yo. Then came the ultimate power move. Lollapalooza rejected Ozzy, so Sharon was like, cool, we'll make our own festival. And boom, Ozfest was born.
Kudos to her. That is great.
Seriously.
And then, not being the father of heavy metal was enough for Ozzy. Mm-hmm. He became the father of reality TV as we know it today. In the early 2000s, 2002, MTV launched a series of shows called The Osbournes, and it was a reality show where they were in their house and everything, and it was pretty crazy. It showed Ozzy in a different light as a father and a husband that got frustrated with remote controls and dealing with teenage dirt. Mm-hmm. It really went over.
It was pretty amazing. He went from the bat-eating maniac to the uncle of pop culture, and honestly, it worked for him.
The final years. And I believe we were talking about how it all worked for Ozzy. I believe it worked for Ozzy because it felt like he was always coming from a place of honesty and ownership. And I think that is really respectful. However, life threw them a tumble again. While they were doing the Osbournes, Sharon was diagnosed with colon cancer. And this hit Ozzy pretty hard. And so he went into heavy drinking again, which resulted in a terrible ATV accident.
Yeah.
Put him in a coma for a couple weeks. All of it proved to be too much. And so the Osbournes came to close 3 seasons later. And good side note, and Sharon was clean of cancer.
Man, it's so crazy. And to think after all that, Ozzy survived again. But something with Ozzy was definitely a little bit different. He seemed stain-free now. He had a new foundation. He wanted to become a family man and the grandpa that used to scare all of our parents. It was pretty rad.
It was great to see the transformation. And then, however, later in years, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And this hit him pretty hard. However, he was able to perform with Black Sabbath on July 5th, 2025. And their last song together was Mama, I'm Coming Home. which kind of gives you goosebumps.
Ozzy Osbourne was a walking contradiction, a bat-biting maniac who wore eyeliner, but always reminding us that we could be amazing.
Yeah. He took everything as it came to him, the good, the bad, the clean, the dirty, and he was very honest with all of it. So, Ozzy, thank you for showing us how a human being can just go through life doing what they want to do, but also being a great guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And don't forget to subscribe wherever you are, Ozzy.
Don't forget to subscribe. Ozzy, wherever you are, thank you for the volume, the madness, and the reminder that even us misfits can become legends.
And thank you, Sudbuds. We'll be back with you soon with another Dryerside Chat where we take history through the wash. We're folding out.
You! Ow, ow, ow!
Not bad.